Hello, class. Welcome back to Debate Lecture. In today's debate, we'll discuss politics and society with the motion this House would give citizenship to illegal immigrants. So, what does that mean? As you can see from the picture, say for countries like US, thousands of people sneak into the borders and into the US for better future, but they do so without permission from the US government. So the motion is basically saying, okay, so we know that these people came without permission, but now you can become American citizens. So let's learn about immigration. Immigration is an international movement of people to a different country. There are many reasons why people move around, but biggest reason is education, studying abroad or having a job in a different country. It can also be family related, like you marry a person from different country and you decide to go there and live. The reason for immigration can also be political. Say that you're from a country where you're not allowed to practice certain religions, say Christianity, and then you go to a new country where you can go to church and practice your religion. Other reasons can be wars, for example. People flee from the war to have safety in other nations. One thing to note that in most cases of immigration, you first need to get permission from the country that you will live in. And this is given by the form of visa, the right to stay in the country. So when you get visa, obviously the country needs to check your background to see if you're a right person. They also need to see how much you're able to pay for your rent or taxes and so on. And countries need to check the status and give you the visa. So make sure that you are safe and the country that is receiving is safe. Now let's look into illegal immigration. Illegal immigration refers to migration that violates the immigration law. So it's illegal for you to sneak in to the country that you want to go to, but people do that. Why would they do that? Well, the biggest reason is financial. We are always motivated to earn more money. And if you're in a country that does not have proper jobs or opportunity, then people want to move into new places where you can get better paid jobs. Note that all illegal uh, or almost all illegal immigration happen to people from poor nations to rich. Like you work as a cook in a restaurant in a poor country and you can only earn $2 one day. But doing the same job in a very rich country like US, you can earn almost $100 per day. People will see this as an opportunity and move in. Sometimes the ongoing war or instability of the nation also motivates people to move out. But whatever the reason is, illegal immigration does not grant you the right to live. So, what does that mean? You don't have any protection from the country that you will live in. This part is crucial. I know some of you guys who are listening to the lecture, you're not from here, but you came in legally, not illegally, because your parents work. So if you get sick, you can go to hospital, show your ID card, and see a doctor. Say if you feel like you need help, you can also ask help to the police or emergency. You can also earn money here and pay the taxes to the government. But if you're the illegal immigrant, you don't get that protection because technically you shouldn't be here at the first place. Are you starting to see a problem? So I want to talk mostly about use a case example of US where this debate is hugely debated. But first of all, let's try to look at a little bit of a historical context in US. Did you know that US is a country that was made from illegal immigration? America first saw immigrations as early as 1607, where English settlers came into the new land called America for religious reasons, as Protestant Christians ran away from the rulers who tried to capture them. Then we had the immigrants who came for the economic reasons in 1815 to 1865. The majority of them came from the Europe and Western Europe or Ireland because there was a massive famine, meaning no food in that region. So people came to a new place, start farming, and start a new life. As America was growing, people started to feel like maybe we have too many people. The competition is there for fighting for jobs. During the 1882, they made out a law that they will exclude Chinese from coming into US. That was the first recorded history of excluding certain countries to come in. The reason was because people thought Chinese would, this is just what people thought, but people thought Chinese workers will work for a lower wage at that time. So they decided to make a law to exclude certain nations. After the World War One and Two, there was also the second influx of immigration to United States, where people came from mainly from Eastern European nations to start a new life. So again, a lot of people just got into the boats and they went to United States for their American dream. This immigration continues to today, but these days, a lot of immigration or legal immigration in US happens from Asia, like countries like India, for example, where people come for a better future, better job for their children. But the United States continue to welcome the immigrants, or are they not welcoming anymore? Well, the truth is they're not welcoming in general anymore. It's mostly due to economy. Since the late 1990s, several depressions and financial crises happened, and more people were getting unemployed, out of job. US also had enough people. There were too many people there and did not need to see continuous inflow of people. Also, some believe that immigrants take away jobs from Americans. And that's when US started to have very strict border controls, allowing only few permitted people to come to US to work. But that did not stop from people to continue following their American dreams. Even with slight decline in numbers, there's still around 10.5 illegal immigrants in the US in 2017, representing around 3.2% of the total US population that year. They were usually mostly from Latin America, like Mexico and the other South American nations. Mostly, these people, what do in the United States? They take out the low-paying jobs that Americans do not want. Many serve in farming industry, cleaning industry, factory industries, or restaurants. Some say without these immigrants, United States will not function as a country because they do a lot of jobs that we really need in our daily life, but few people want to do. But others also argue that they take away jobs from Americans. This is especially true due to pandemics such as COVID-19, where a lot of restaurants closed down and low-paying jobs became less and less. And you'll see competition between Americans and illegal immigrants trying to fight for the same job. Typically, this is illegal immigrants do not have any protection of law, so they take lower salaries, which are much less than minimum wages. So if you are a restaurant owner, you want to hire, say, illegal immigrant for $5 instead of American in $7 per hour. So you see a problem here. That's why some people really don't want the illegal immigrants because they want the jobs, they pay the tax, and these jobs are for American people only. But others say this is not true. Others say illegal immigrants helped US to continue operating as an economy because in US more and more people are going to college, having their own business, and they all want to eat in restaurants. There are many restaurants in US, but they don't have a lot of people who wash the dishes, who can work as a cook or who can work as a waitress. So a lot of illegal immigrants fill out these jobs. So you don't want to deport them because if you deport them, all of a sudden restaurants must close down. But all of that aside, also for political reasons, US is still enforcing very, very strict laws to stop illegal immigration, such as US President Donald Trump spending almost $2 billion to build a wall to stop illegal immigrants. And many police force investigate to deport. Deportation is to kick out the people of the country to illegal immigrants to their own nations. That's thousands and thousands of police investigate who are the illegal immigrants and they try to capture them and send them back to the country they are from. So debate lies here. Is it about time that you cannot really block these people coming away? They're going to continue sneak into the country every year. So should we stop blocking them and accept them as part of Americans or part of Europeans or part of Hong Kong? Or should we continue to restrict them and punish them if we find that they came in illegally? Here are the arguments. If you're in the pro team on this motion, you will definitely say, the right of citizenship belongs to people who really work to and honest people who work for that country. So giving citizenship to the illegal immigrant benefits the country, economy, and the people. The first argument I could think of is that current blocking of the immigrations is very inhumane because due to the very tall wall, a lot of people are stuck in the borders. And we hear news that some children get separated between their parents and their children. A lot of children are stuck at the borders, don't go to school, they don't have health care, hospital, and some people die there because the condition is really bad. We should stop blocking them. And those who arrived in US, they're always very scared because they don't know one day when the police will come in and they will kick them back to the country. That's very inhumane. That's very cruel. You can also say economy will benefit from giving citizenship to illegal immigrants. America still needs people who needs to work in agriculture. America still needs people who need to work as healthcare workers, for cooks, for waitress, or also cleaners. And because no one wants to work, you still need people to fill in this job, and giving citizenship to these illegal immigrants, the economy will benefit because now you can freely give them the jobs. Also, you can say giving citizenship to immigrants will help solve the problems of aging population. This is especially true in European nations, like, for example, Germany or Japan, where a lot of people are getting old and you need inflow of new people who are younger and willing to work, and they can sustain the economy, the country, and also the old people. Germany needs a lot of people who can take care of the elderly, like nurses or home care people. And a lot of times the immigrants can come in and help. You can also say giving citizenship will be most cost-effective way than wasting a lot of tax money in deporting, prosecuting illegal immigrants, and building physical walls, like the example I said. For the wall that President Donald Trump made, it was $2 billion. Why don't you just use that money on good things like welfare? You can also say that instead of hiring so many detectives to find out who's the illegal immigrants and kick them out, why don't you just give them citizenship? They'll get a job, they're honest people, they will work hard and pay the tax, and they will grow the economy and the society. So society will benefit from having different immigrated people, and giving citizenship will be a good idea. What about the con side? Con side wants to say, look, let's try to be fair because there are still immigrants who come with permission and people who come illegally. You cannot put them as the same category. So granting a citizenship to all the illegal immigrants will harm the nation and the people. The first argument is that giving citizenship to illegal immigrants will be unfair for those who take proper process to become citizen. So let's say for 1 year, America can take 100 people. And if you suddenly grant citizenship to illegal immigrants, then what about people who are waiting in line to come to US or America? They don't get their chance. These people sneak in, they cut the line, and it will anger the people who are going through the process. This is not fair in the first place. You can also say accepting illegal immigrants will take away jobs from Americans because many times illegal immigrants will work for less amount of money. So if you start giving all the citizenship, then the wages will go down, or there will be no more jobs for certain industry for American or people from that country. You can also say accepting illegal immigrants will make society much more insecure. Why is that? Well, usually, a lot of times these legal immigrants have a background of, many of them can be very very honest, hardworking people. But sometimes, if you know the situation of some countries which have wars or have very instability, where a lot of people live by dealing drugs, illegal immigration don't have a proper background check. So if you accept everyone, then people will be feeling insecure because people will be questioning, do they have proper background check? Are they honest people or are they not? So there, it's going to bring a lot of insecurity in people. You can last say that if you give free citizenship to illegal immigrants, it will attract even more illegal immigrants. Well, if you hear the news that a rich nation is giving free citizenship to anyone who make it to that country, there's going to be a rush to go to that country. And that will say, then there's going to be a population explosion in that country. So these are all the arguments I can think of in both pro and con side. You can read more about it in the reading that I have sent you. You have so until then, please come prepared, and I will see you in the debate. Thank you for listening to this video. I'll see you then. Bye bye.